Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a really awesome video, and that is a review on Jomar Wholesale. If you are new here, hi, I am a work from home mom. I manage 2 clothing businesses online, one on eBay and one on Poshmark. And last year was a pretty interesting year for just about anyone. It did absolutely impact my capabilities of running my businesses the way that I normally would. And so I had to do a lot of research and I had to try out different options to get inventory to my doorstep. So one of the main ones that I ended up going to was Jomar Wholesale. And in fact, I ended up purchasing 7 different boxes from this company, which ended up giving me a total of 217 pieces, which averaged out to about $4.83 per item. So in reality, when I kind of look at that and I think about what my model was before, which was going to the thrift stores, going to consignment stores, even hitting up some retail stores when they've got good clearances, and getting some items that I could flip essentially or resell online, that's a pretty good number to be purchasing inventory at to then sell for a profit. So that's what we're going to go over today. We're going to go over, was it worth it? Were there boxes that I would purchase again, or would there be boxes I might pass on? Will I even purchase from Jomar ever again? And what were some of my top sales and some of the things I was like, wah, wah, and give you a little bit of a total of where I am at today. So if that's interesting to you, stick around. All right, guys, so we are going to get started here. But first, I'm looking at all this stuff and thinking, this is going to take a minute. So if you have not already, go grab a coffee, go grab your morning or evening drink whenever you're here. Hi, how's it going? And enjoy this, have some popcorn, that, or while you're listing or photographing, just have this on in the background. I think I'm going to give you some very valuable information, but we've got a lot to cover. Okay, so I am going to preface this first and foremost by saying Poshmark was not assisting me with some of the figures that I was needing to get. So I was not able to get the final total of what I've been able to make so far, but I was able to calculate a good figure to give you guys a good generalized idea. And there was something else I was going to preface. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to preface with. So I did a ton of research last year. And when I start to think about some of the different options that we had as sellers online, I put myself not only in the seller's aspect, but the buyer's aspect when it comes to purchasing a bulk amount of inventory from one source. And the thing that I constantly thought about, because eventually someday I would love to do this, I would love to be able to have bulk boxes or mystery boxes that I could sell to other people. And I would hope that in the process of doing that, people would remember I am human. People would remember, as much as I can inspect an item, I am probably going to miss a flaw. Just like I'm sure if you are a reseller or have sold anything online, you can bet that there's been some point somewhere where like someone's mentioned there's a stain or a hole and you're like, I totally missed that. I missed it. I did not realize that. And so when I'm thinking about these wholesale boxes, I really put that into consideration. And same thing goes with liquidation. When you're purchasing a huge pallet of inventory and you're getting like 500 pieces from somebody. There are some businesses that are just straight up careless and that like 100% when you receive something, you're like, I've been scammed. You're going to end up taking those sort of risks. Okay, so prefacing with all of that, I definitely take that into consideration when I'm going to these different sources, and I would hope that you would do the same. I am giving you a review of assortments that I have received before. Please, if you decide to buy from them or not, that you don't come at me if you get a box that you were like, this was the bar I was hoping you would meet, and this is the level in which my box came. Because there's even some boxes, I'm going to tell you the good, bad, and ugly in my boxes, and you might end up deciding that maybe one that I didn't get a good return on, you're going to try it and you get a bomb box. So it is so sporadic. These different wholesalers are getting tons of different inventory on a regular basis. So even though I purchased from them over this past year, the inventory they're going to get this year is not identical. And this is just the types of stuff that I personally mentally put myself in as far as like perspective before I started purchasing. And so if you feel like you're not at a place that you are willing to take that risk, then 110% don't do it. But if you are trying to figure out like, hey, I have an autoimmune disease and I cannot leave the house, but I want to build this business and I need inventory to my doorstep, consider what I'm about to say, because I think that this is a very valuable thing for you. Moving on. Like I mentioned before, cost of goods was about $4.83. So in total, I have spent over $1,000 with Jomar Wholesale. There were 2 boxes that I've purchased that were a 50-piece, and they are called the Reseller CPR Essential Pack. In fact, if you haven't seen that one already, I did actually do a haul of that particular box. So if you are interested in that one, I will put that one in the cards. The other things that I have purchased from them is their basic brands. Now this one was a new with tagged box, and I should actually also state that. With all these boxes, they give you a generalized idea of what's going to be in the box, but it is not manifested. And what do I mean by not manifested? That means that I am going to receive a box that has not told me you're going to receive this item, this item, this item, this item. So there were some boxes though that they would say there could be a mix of new and tagged, there could be a mix of used, there could be a mix of gently used or new without tags. But then there were some boxes that said, no, this box is going to be new and tagged. So the basic brand's new tagged women's box was 20 pieces. Then we had a bralette pack. That one was new tagged, and they classified that one as boho. However, when I looked at the pictures, all of the pictures were free people. Then we got a men's athletic and career box. That one was 40 pieces. A mystery shoe box, which was 20 pairs. And then I purchased a Jomar collab box with EXO Rachel. You may see her on Instagram. She is a reseller and ended up going more into, as additional stream of income, ended up going more into like social media marketing, create a business around that. And now she's actually the marketing manager. I think she's the marketing manager. I recently saw something the other day that showed her title. So she has the background of a reseller, but is also their marketing manager now. Those were all the different boxes that I have received from them. So let's kind of break down some of the highlights and lows of the different boxes that we purchased. Okay, so the first box we're going to talk about is the men's athletic and career box. The reason why I wanted to talk about this one first is last year was my first year. I got to work from home, just do my reselling business, and not have to worry about an additional full-time income. But in my first year, even though I had been reselling for 2 years, I was doing it in brands and in categories that I really liked, such as women's clothing, women's shoes. The level of understanding that I had when it came to men's clothing was what my husband would wear. So there was definitely a essentially genre or a category of men's clothing that I had no experience in. None. And I needed inventory. And at this time when I had actually purchased this set of boxes, there was a sale going on for free shipping, I think it was. And so I decided that I was going to just give this box a whirl. And I was pleasantly surprised. And this is one of the things that I feel like is a huge encouragement when we're looking at wholesale or liquidation boxes, is if you're new in the reselling industry and you can get your hands on a box that's like $500 or $300 or $200 or maybe even $100, and it gives you opportunities to have mixed brands that you A, might not otherwise be able to pick up in your area, or B, not even know has value. It's a really great opportunity to extend your education on brands versus just trying to go to a store and find things. I've definitely found after doing these boxes, as well as many other boxes of inventory that I got last year, that when I go into thrift stores now, I'm even better equipped than I was before, because I can see a brand and recognize it because I actually have history and analytics from my store that proves, hey, that was a good, valuable brand. Prefacing all of that to say, Bonobos was one of those brands that I did a fantastic job with last year. So I had it in this men's box and I had a lot of it. I had Bonobos, I hope I say that right, shorts, I had shirts of theirs, I had jeans of theirs, and I felt like it was a huge amount, and I was like, oh, I really hope this stuff is going to move. And we had their shorts sell for $40 on Poshmark. We had another pair sell for $25. We had a pair of their jeans sell for $40. So overall, I found a brand that I was like, okay, so if we see this brand in shorts or jeans, they're a good profit for us. Even at like a $5 marker, that's a really great return. Another brand that I found through this box that I didn't otherwise know of before was Peter Millar. Travis Matthews, that was also another one that I had in the box. I already knew that brand, and so I was just excited to see that one in the box. But those three brands overall surprised me. Those brands I felt like gave a really great return. Standardly, aside from that Bonobo shirt that was $18, we had $24, $30, $40, $27, $28. So overall, I felt like it was a really great return. The men's box I would absolutely do again. I felt like it gave me a great variety in different items and very much fit the career/athletic brands. Okay, so the next one we're going to go into is the basic brands, which was the new tagged women's pieces. This one I was not able to get all of the items that were listed in that box. I do feel like the men's box versus this new tagged women's box, this one actually had like a higher cost of goods, but like I said, I took all of the boxes and then how many pieces and then divided it that way, so that's why we're getting the 5.8. I want to say though, this box on its own would be like $8 per item, and the main that was 20 pieces, and the main brand that I received in that box was Adriana Papel. So a couple things that I want to take into consideration before just giving an initial like yes or no is the fact that because of COVID last year, there were not special engagements. There were not a lot of events. There wasn't a lot of like reasons to wear career wear. I mean, for crying out loud, I would say loungewear was probably like the #1 like trending outfit, if you will, for 2020. And I felt like not a whole lot of these brands moved. I had a couple of items sell. We had this Bowden Nua tagged dress that sold. It was super gorgeous, very, very pretty. That one sold for $30. Personally, I feel like that's common. I'm noticing with that brand from Nordstrom's, Bowden and Caslon, they're not selling for nearly as much. And I don't understand why, because I feel like their quality is still really good, especially the sweaters. They so soft, but I don't understand, like they're just not the resale market. I don't know if maybe they're just too flooded, but I'm not seeing them move nearly as well as I had seen them move before. So I felt like this box was kind of a bust for me, but because not really a lot of the items sold. I still have a lot of them in my store. The other thing I would say is Adriana Papel is not a brand that I'm finding sells well for me. And it could be very much different for somebody else, but I feel like not only do you have these nice fancy dresses, you know, kind of that event wear or something you could wear to the office, and at the same time that brand, they were not the best of both worlds. And I really hope that maybe time those things are gonna sell, because they're so pretty. Like I really love, there was this one Adriana Papel, it's like a embroidered purple flowery dress, and it's got like this sheer top, so it's got like a slip dress underneath it, and it's got this sheer top with nice little like flare sleeves. It's so pretty and it's brand new. I mean, these dresses go for like over $200 at retail, but that's the other thing when we're talking about retail versus resale. They do not coincide. You really have to do your research with those sort of things. And so, I mean, would I buy this box again? I don't think so. I would maybe want to have a little more clarity, but I just felt like for the amount that I was paying per item to the box, I didn't feel like I'm still sitting on a lot of the inventory. And so my hope is that maybe I can relist the items, drop down the price. Maybe I might get some movement, $8 for cost of goods into 50, like that's still worth it, but I've had to sit on it for a while. So it might be the right thing at the right time now, but I was kind of sad. I was a little sad. They're so pretty. They're so stinking pretty. Okay, so the next one, the reseller CPR box has like an array of things. Like I mentioned, that one's going to be potentially new tagged. It's going to be used. It's going to be new without tags. It's going to be shirts. It's going to be jeans. It's going to be like all the things aside from shoes, and it's going to be women's. We're going to stick with dresses still since I've kind of got that information right here, and then we'll move on into like the tops. I don't think I actually, no, and we do have some jeans. We had a Broadway and Broom silk classy shift dress that sold for $31. We did have a Ecote Guinevere shift dress. It was super pretty. Very much a bohemian festival style dress. That one sold for $20 on eBay. We had a kimchi blue, again, just a really nice floral lace dress for $25 that sold on eBay. We had a French Connection sequin dress. This one was so pretty. It was so pretty. And it was long sleeves, but it only sold for $20, you guys. We also had an Anthro mauve dress that was silk, and that one sold for $23, which personally, I've seen this for a while now. I feel like there are a lot of brands from Anthropologie that are not calling for the price point that they used to. When I first started, which I started like 3 years ago, and I remember like Anthropologie was like the crown jewel if you could get any of those brands. But yeah, I was disappointed because it's such a pretty dress, but it only sold for $23. This was actually another one that I got out of the career box, and that was a Calvin Klein dress, and that one sold for $19, which I don't really expect a whole lot from Calvin Klein, to be honest, unless it's a really, really nice piece. It's kind of turning into like a bread and butter for us. If we can find it at the bins and it's a pretty recent item, I'm going to pick it up, but still only have an expectation of like $25 that I'm going to get from it. And then I had this really gorgeous, it was so pretty. It was a Madewell denim mini dress. I loved it. That was actually one of them that I showcased, I believe, in my haul, and I obsessed over it just as much on the haul as I'm doing now. And that one, if I'm not mistaken, I think that one sold for $35 or $40 on eBay. We had these sell. They were a Zara basic maroon floral print trousers. They were super cute, but I also know that they are not everyone's cup of tea, and they sold for $18. Personally, I feel like Zara, I would still kind of funnel into like a fast fashion brand, and so the return on some of these, I kind of expected a little bit less. There is definitely some pieces from Zara that can call for a higher price point, but these I was willing to take. I think I had them up for $25, and then someone sent me an offer of $18. And then the other thing, actually this was still a dress. I don't know why this wasn't in something earlier, but this was a ribbed long sleeve turtleneck dress. This was really cute, and this one actually sold for $30. We have these really cute Alexa Chung pants. Okay, with these actually call for a higher price point. I have them up at 90 right now. I think I initially had them up for 100, and there is 8 likes on them. This is one of those items that I know is going to have to sit for someone who is willing to pay for that price point. So I'm not mad at that. And that is kind of the thing that I do like about carrying a business with an array of different price points. When we're talking about some of these designer pieces, and we're talking about things that call for $100+ or, you know, over that $50 range, it's going to take a minute for those items to sell, and that's fine. And that's why I appreciate some of these smaller items selling for $18, selling for $20, selling for $25, because that's going to like be what keeps me employed on a regular basis. And then when we have those higher end things sell, it's like, okay, that was a nice little check I'm going to get at the end of the week because of that. Now let's go into some of the tops now. So again, we're going to talk about some of those bread and butters, the things that sold really quick for us. And I was, like I said, I was still pretty happy about them. We had this Urban Outfitters crop top, very cute. I think it's going to be very much in season soon. There was this other brand that was so cursive-y with their brand name that I could not understand what it was. Fortunately, I have a virtual assistant who drafts my listings, and she found it. It's actually do-re, R-I, and I still have both of these in my closet. We had one of them that sold and then it got returned to us because they said it was like the wrong size or something like that. It had sold on eBay. We also had this very cute Jouer Camisole. I'm actually really surprised this sold. Jouer does not sell for me as much as it used to. And that one sold for $18. So definitely a lot lower too. But it was a camisole. So I was like, nah, it's just very simple top. These two I actually still have in my store. They are French Connection. They give me like career wear vibes slash school attire if you were like at a school that had uniform. They've got like that fun little collar. It almost looks like you're wearing a white button up underneath and then you've got like the sweater over the top of it, which isn't in style, but they haven't sold yet. So this one was amazing. Okay, I'm gonna butcher this brand, so I'm not gonna say it. It's Mayle. It was a silk blouse. I had it listed for $199. Someone offered me $125 on eBay and I accepted it because it sold so fast. This was another one kind of similar to those French Connections though. I love that like classy attire that feels like modest, but at the same time it's a little more upscale. And that's really the vibe that this shirt gave me. Then we also had 2 Reese pieces in our Jomar boxes. The silk long sleeve, and then we also had a skirt. I believe the skirt just recently sold. It didn't sell for a whole lot, to be honest. But this Reese silk top sold for $35. I had it listed for $50. It had been sitting in my closet for a minute and then it finally sold, so I was very happy with that. And then we also had a Neiman Marcus, just like basic top. It was very soft, but it was just like a tank top. And that one ended up selling for $25. We also had this Banana Republic, again, little cami top. You could put that underneath like a sweater, a cardigan. That one sold for $17, so a bread and butter. Then we had an Anthropologie piece sell for $20. Another Tommy Bahama, well, a Tommy Bahama for $20. Then we also had a Calvin Klein that sold for $15. Again, it was just like a basic, put it underneath your blazer top. Then we also had another Calvin Klein, multicolored, sold for $11. Bread and butters, guys, bread and butters. Then we had a nice Anthro piece that sold. It was like the silk squared collar. I really loved it. And they also had color blocking all over it. That one sold for $30 on eBay. And lastly, we had this Tracy Reese embroidered lace. It was a very structured lace. I really liked that. That actually I remember talking about in the Jomar haul, and that one sold for a whopping $17. With the reseller CPR essential boxes, those go for $175 and there's 50 items in there. Those are thrift store prices. I think that's really what helped assist with like bringing down the price on a lot of these other boxes. And for that, I'm very thankful. And I personally feel like they go above and beyond when they put stuff into these boxes. I remember one of the very first pieces I got in my first box was a Reformation skirt. Downside was when I went to steam it, it had moth holes all over it, but you absolutely would have not seen that unless you were steaming the item. But they really intentionally try to find some high-end pieces to throw into these boxes to really make it worth your while. So I felt like the reseller boxes are hands down. If I'm going to continue to purchase anything from Jomar, that is most certainly what I'm going to choose. I really like them. The one downside is still, from what I can see, you have to wait like 4 weeks to get your box. From Pennsylvania to Oregon, it takes about 4 weeks to get to me. So that is kind of a bummer. I have to be kind of thinking ahead when I'm purchasing that box. It is a really great supplement box, honestly. If you're trying to get some more inventory into your store, I would definitely recommend that one. And then let's talk about the shoebox. I was super excited. I've never purchased a mystery shoebox before, to be honest. I was very excited to give this one a whirl. There was 20 pairs in it. I'll actually throw up a little picture right here. I took this picture. I still haven't posted it on Instagram. I don't know if it's worth posting at this point, but I was just excited. It was a giant box, to be honest. I will say right off the bat, I was a little disappointed. There were so many new in the box shoes. They said it was like $30 or $27. I was like, it's not even going to really be worth it for me to list. And so I ended up sending them to ThredUp because I was like, they can do the work and try to sell them, and they didn't sell. And so I recently got them back, and I was even more disappointed because ThredUp doesn't give you back your boxes, if you didn't know. I was so mad. And so now I have to purchase, or I have to sell these like new without box. And so I feel like that even decreases the value of it. So I was like, that kind of sucked. And then one of the pairs that was in there. It was so cute. You might actually even be able to see it in that picture, but it was Converse shoes. They're super cute because they had like pearls all over them. They were like bedazzled like crazy. But when I was going to photograph them, I did not feel right. Personally, I felt like they were fakes. And so I ended up just donating that one because I was like, if someone wants it, they can have it. But it is not going to be, I do not feel right trying to sell these as Converse. I do not think they are Converse. But the things that I did really find in that box that I enjoyed was Zara. I got I got a great amount of Zara pairs of shoes, and they were actually new. There was heels, which I actually still have. They've got this little fringe detailing on them. We had a Zara basic stud slip-on loafer. That was totally perfect for fall time. I'm not surprised they sold. They sold for $30. I was surprised that these sold, but they're gorgeous. They were a asymmetric leather high heel. I'm just surprised because they were a high heel. Those ones ended up selling for $40 on eBay. And so very, very happy with that sale. I do, like I said, I still have these, but I would not predict these will be in my closet for much longer. We also had this pair sell. It was like, I'm gonna butcher the name, Emphisto. I have no idea. It was, again, another, I think, made in Italy or made in Spain, like pair of shoes, and they sold for $22. They actually just sold relatively recently too. I still have in my store this Kendall and Kylie just slip-on flip-flops. They've got like this chain detail on them. Honestly, that's going to be a really great one for me to relist again soon. I have them up for $36. I'll probably drop the price on them, honestly. It's just a really great slip-on pair, but still look a little stylish in the process, to wear for the springtime. So overall, I felt like I was disappointed. I was disappointed in the shoe box. I was hoping that I would have a consistency across the board, but it was very much like, these are really great shoes. These you should hardly even like consider doing. And that was a bummer. I don't want to have a box and then have to donate a fourth of the box, or feel like it's not even worth my time to try to even list these items because of what cost it's going to be for me to try to get them up. So that was a little bit of a bummer. I feel like I might keep an eye on their shoe stuff because I love selling shoes. I love selling shoes. Yes, I do. And therefore I feel like it's going to be worth it for me to kind of see if that one evolves. That is one of the things that I've continued to see with Jomar, is that they're constantly evolving on their merchandise, on the new things they're able to provide to the resellers. And so I feel like maybe they might update that one a little more and it could be worth something. But for me right now, I would not recommend the box, because I was more disappointed than I was happy about the different things I got in the box. The next one we're going to talk about is the Jomar and XO Rachel's collab. This box was one that you didn't really get a lot of items in. They created like a mystery box that she handpicked, which I thought was super awesome. I am going to be honest, I missed the first wave of these boxes, and then I got the second wave, and personally I felt like the items that she picked, it almost felt like they got a lot, again, totally assuming, but they got a lot of people who were like, this is amazing, and bought, and they sold out so fast that I feel like she was trying to rush to get the next set of boxes. And the reason why I say that is because at the same time, I ended up purchasing that boho Umatilla 25-piece bralette pack. And I mean, this was a box that was like $12 a piece. Like the cost of goods was pretty high for this, but I wanted to like support Rachel and I wanted to support this collab, and so I bought it. I did not do a haul on this one because A, I was just really excited about the items. I wanted to take a look, and B, I was kind of disappointed because there were bralettes in the box, and I was like, you have on the website the bralettes for $4, but I will say the box actually paid for itself. It was really, really awesome. I was super excited. It definitely paid for itself with this box. I ended up getting 2 brand new in the box Free People pairs of shoes. I had this one pair of boots that were knee high and they were so close to my size. I'm actually really thankful they weren't, because they ended up selling for $100. They had like a platform heel and they had this really stretchy like material so that way they would stay up on your leg. They were just cute. I was so about them. And then I also got a pair of sandals, which I actually still have, and I totally think that had everything to do with the season. I believe we got this box in the fall, and so it made total sense why the boots just sold that fast, but why we're still sitting on the gladiator like shoes. Now I'll probably relist it soon because I think that it's definitely going to call for a higher price point at this time. So I definitely, that paid for like half the box right then and there. And so I was like, okay, that was definitely worth it. And then I ended up getting, like I said, a couple bralettes, which I was like, meh. But then I got two brand new loungewear Free People pieces, which again, we talked already before, loungewear was like the #1 word and trend of last year. So these things sold so fast. We had one pair, it was a 2-piece, it was like a biker shorts with like this tank top, was $28 that they ended up selling for, which I feel like they retailed for only like $45 or $50. So that was worth it. And then this really cute like holiday pajama top, like one of the dress tops, and that one sold for $40. I actually got 2 of those and they both sold for $40. They were definitely worth it. I was very happy about that. And then I got the brand Mage, M-A-J-E, and I was super thrilled to have this brand because when I was looking up the comps of this brand, they were really good for resale. I had this really cool top that has this embroidery detail on it, and then I have a white shirt that has, I think it was like, it's a tree. What is it called? I'm drawing a blank. It's like tropical trees. Can you tell I don't live in a tropical area? I want to say pine trees. No, that's more of like welcome to the Great Northwest. But I got 3 items from that brand. I got 2 shirts and 1 dress. And the dress actually ended up selling. It was super, super gorgeous. It is called a white robe elastic smock dress. I loved this dress. It was so pretty. Did ended up selling, but someone returned it because they said the stitching, so the way that the elastic was on the dress, they're like, based on the cover shot, there's like a seam right in the middle in the front, and the cover shot does not show that, which by the way, as I'm showing you guys these highlights of these photos, you are going to see a lot of cover shot photos. I have since removed doing that on Poshmark, and I mean, I did that a long time ago on eBay too. But if you want to know more about that, tell me down below what was if you want to know what my reasoning was for no longer using cover photos, or cover shots, like actually using the modeled photos. I will absolutely do a video for you on that, or answer even just the questions down there. But they said that basically it was malfunctioned, defected, sorry, not malfunctioned, defected. And therefore it was not going to be one that they would want to continue to keep. And the return was approved and it was sent back to me. I have since actually tried to sell it on ThreadUp when that whole spiel was going on, and there's no bites on it. And so I'm a little disappointed. I was really hoping that like that and those boots would pretty much pay for that box, but at the same time, that was again kind of what I prefaced at the beginning. I truly believe that she wasn't trying to get me a dress that had problems and was not properly stitched correctly from the manufacturer, but it just sucked. It sucked, especially knowing how much I paid for that box. And then the 2 shirts, honestly, I'm still sitting on. I don't know if I just priced them too high, or if the market got flooded, or if it was just kind of the wrong season for them because it was winter and no one was really traveling. I think what I'm going to try to do is relist those items. Actually, in doing just the research for this specific video, I began to realize like I have got to relist some of these items because they're going to be more in season now than they were before, and probably drop the prices of them. So overall with this box, would I purchase it again? I'm a little hesitant to be honest. I would definitely consider it in being the collab because I just love supporting our reseller community. But if I'm trying to make proper business decisions. Like if I was there being able to check out a box, I would probably say yay or nay, you know, and have a better idea of that. I kind of like to keep my cost of goods under $10. If I'm spending over $10 for an item, I'm inspecting it and saying, yes, this is worth paying over $10 for. So, you know, that's to be determined. I feel like it was really, really fun. I love the mystery box aspect, which is really all of these wholesale boxes. But I just, yeah, well, it made me sad. It made me sad. Next, we are going to talk about the bralettes. So the bralettes, like I mentioned, it was all Free People, brand new tagged bralettes, bras, etc. There was like a good mixture of like $58 retail price points to, I think, 36. And then there were some that were like 20-ish, 24. So those were kind of a bummer, because if you're thinking about like Poshmark specifically, if I'm trying to sell something and someone, especially bralettes, like a very lightweight item, if I'm trying to sell these and they have to pay $7 for shipping, it really makes it difficult to try to be able to make a profit without them paying for the item plus shipping and it actually being over the amount of what it is new tagged. So those items, I actually still have quite a few in my store on, because it's difficult in that way. There were items that have already sold on eBay, which I'm definitely more for, because when we're looking at something that's under 4 ounces, it's going to be about $3.49, I believe, to ship. And so we did have some of them that sold over there, like this Free People bralette. That one was super cute. It was an orange color. I think that actually sold around Halloween, which I was not surprised about. And then we have a Free People ivory bralette. That one actually sold on Poshmark. That one was for $20 plus shipping. And then we had this Free People. It was very cute. It was this color block bralette, kind of was almost more like a bra look. That one sold for $18. Then we also had this really nice, it actually was a wired bra. That one sold for $27. Then we had one of the bralettes that I knew that it was like with that and shipping, it was like $20 retail. So this one sold for $10. Then we had this really beautiful like velvet bralette that sold for $30. So when we have the bralettes that were like $3.50 per item, I was absolutely making my money back on this particular box, but it was so hard to try to do. I'm thankful that it was very much an in style thing. I was very much thinking about the fact that, hey, people's putting on cardigans and they want like a bralette to show underneath, or you're wearing a bodysuit that might be a little sheer and the intentionality is to show the bralette, or even as we go into summertime, some people just strictly wear bralettes. I mean, there's definitely an in trend for it right now, and so I felt like it was worth purchasing and knowing that I was going to get a ton of different bralettes. But I am disappointed that some of them were like $20 retail or $24 retail, because when I'm trying to sell them on Poshmark, it was really hard to try to make a profit without them ending up paying for more than what it was going to be retail. That one was overall a really good one for me. Would I repurchase that one again? I actually don't even think they had that one. It was one of those things that like they received the inventory in bulk and they were just trying to get rid of it very quickly. So overall, when we take a look at the items that have sold and the items that we still have in our store, we still have about half of what we had purchased. And like I said, I was not able to get all the figures, so I do apologize. These are not all of the numbers from about half of what we have sold from them. But overall, when we take out the cost on the commissions on these different platforms, both Poshmark and eBay, we have sold $1,229.60. So when we're just a little bit over $1,000 that we spend in product, I have already, even with those fees and costs, I have already made back that money, and I still have inventory in my store, which means at this point that it's just pure profit, which is nice, because then, you know, if someone gives me an offer that I'm like, I would have liked to have $5 more, I don't have to like be so strict on that. I could just say like, this is all profit at this point, and I'm okay with just having inventory going through my closet. So would I buy from Jomar Wholesale again? And the answer is 110% yes. In fact, if you are interested in looking at their site, I'm gonna put a link below that is an affiliate link, and if you actually use that, you're gonna get 10% off. And so when you go in there, you can keep the mindset of, when you're looking at some of these different boxes, that you're going to get 10% off when you first order. So I'm very excited about it. I feel like they're a great brand. I feel like they're someone who wants to continue to be an asset to the reseller community. And I just feel like they're going to continue to grow from there. You're going to see hits and misses. So like there's definitely boxes that I would pick up again and other boxes that I would not pick up again. And that is everything for this video, you guys. You have stuck through this the whole time. If you are here, like, I applaud you. Like, thank you very much. That was a lot of information that we had to go over, but I really hope it was valuable for you. If you do like this type of video of me grading wholesale boxes and then giving a review and even giving you like, hey, did we make money? Did we lose money? Let me know down below if that is something that would be interesting to you, because I'll start taking a look at more boxes that would make sense for me to share and be able to tell you a little bit more information. Anyways, you guys have a great week, and I will see you next week. Bye.